Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Politically Correct Ghana lesson 292. And today, being the 11th of May 2025, we want to discuss a very controversial issue, a rather very controversial issue in Ghana, and that is what? Political appointment into public services in Ghana. Political appointments into public services in Ghana. We know that political appointments into public services in Ghana has become more partisan oriented, but we are refusing to acknowledge that. And it is playing out, but we're refusing to acknowledge that culture, that budding culture that is showing up in our democracy. Ghana's democracy is quite young, relatively young, 30 years plus. So it's still in its growth. And so there is a pattern that is showing up, and that pattern is cultural, and we cannot kick against it. We have to begin to accept it and legislate it, or kick against it and write it down and make it a law within ourselves to live with it. I know that by the time I release this video, my senior brother in the US, Big Bro Shackles, will quickly call and say, hello, baby bro, I didn't tell you to release this video. I didn't tell you that I do not support this video because it is against meritocracy. Then I know that my big brother in the UK also is going to call them. Soon after, he's going to follow up with another call. Lots of Taylor is going to call and say, hey, look, bro, hey, baby bro, I tell you what, I'm not interested in this kind of video. Do something that is equitable, and that's quite fair to everybody in the country. That's national development. And of course, then down under Australia, the funding man Kofi Fiadon is going to call. He's going to say, look, look, broke. I didn't fund you to be divisive. I'm funding you to make sure that the country stay in whole, and then we up our game in meritocracy. And I'm going, oh yes, you're right. The trade unions are going to watch this video and they are going to say, look at this bloke. He's just making a mess out of the whole thing. And I agree with you that students of meritocracy in our various universities are going to be saying, no, this is, no. We want meritocracy. We want the best people to fill our public services. I said, all right, I agree with you, but it's just a temporary agreement. But no, thank you. I mean, it's just a temporary agreement in the sense that, look, there's a budding culture. You cannot resist it. For the trade unionists, take note, in 1992-93, when Mr. Rawlings came, he appointed his own chief executives in public services. We kept quiet. Then when Mr. Kufuor of NPP came, he appointed the chief executive officers and appointed deputy chief executive officers and added assistants. He added what you call special assistants to them. He didn't complain. Then when Professor Mills and John Dramani Mahama came, they went in back to only the chief executive appointments and ignored the deputies and then the special assistants. Then, of course, Nana Addo came. He went in for the chief executives, then appointed chief executives, his own chief executives. They appointed in some cases, 3 deputy chief executives, then special assistants, and the PROs. You know, this is how the culture begins. So, is it not about time that we put a stop somewhere? We put a cap, a limit somewhere in the echelon of public services, where political appointments can take up to. Below that, it shouldn't be allowed. So then, of course, John Dramani Mahama, this is your 3rd time holding the staff of presidency. So I expect you not to truncate this cultural process, but have it documented and quickly appoint the deputy chief executive officers, maybe 2 or 3 to each of the public services. Add the personal assistants, add the PROs. Get your political party members, the NDC members, and fill them. Party chairman, party communication officers to fill the PRO positions, and then others who are qualified. They must always be qualified to do the deputy chief executive officer positions and the chief executive officer positions, and then some sensitive positions like the chief finance officer, chief technology officer, and chief human resource management, or the director for human resource. Fill all those places with your party folks, because that is the culture. You know what? There's a law that prevents it, but the law cannot overtake the culture. So the culture is going to stay, the political culture is going to stay, and we cannot do nothing about it. So Big Bro Shackles, Big Bro Losotelo, then Kofi Fiadon, this is what the culture of Ghana says, and not what I am saying, but it's controversial, but we have to live with it, so let's legislate it and make it work. Yeah, there's one bit that we have to take note of. Those neutrals, there's nothing like neutral when it comes to democracy. Those neutrals who think that they are not voting for any political party, or they vote as of when they think. Those who do not vote for any political party do not expect that once you do not vote for a political party, don't expect to be appointed. If you do not vote for someone, don't expect to be voted or appointed to serve in the government. For those who say they are neutral, don't wait and let those who are aligned to a political party do the job and you come and take the glory. It won't work. It doesn't work that way. Thank you. The name is Kwame Afam.